Welcome to part 2 of my Diary of a Self-Healer series. In part 1, you got to hear some of the red flags I encountered after I met and married a narcissist. In this episode, I'll be sharing advice on what not to do after a heartbreak. The first year of a heartbreak from a spouse or long-term partner will be the hardest. However, I feel it's also the most transformative, because you are now placed in a position to navigate tough emotions and to become resourceful with what's left of you. Most of us somewhat lose ourselves in relationships, so in these moments of separation, we must redefine what we desire wholeness to look and feel like. We can gain our autonomy back through self-exploration and by healing our wounds. The separation following the heartbreak will ultimately tear down the foundation of this identity you created inside of this relationship. It might have given you an illusion of what wholeness really is. Moving forward, you'll be given the opportunity to recreate a foundation based on your core values, strong principles, and self-love. This is the foundation that's going to support you in the next stages of your life. Let's begin with tip number 1. If you are starting over fresh after a breakup, do not seek closure to move forward. Apologies are always optional. You have to seek contentment through acceptance instead. It took my ex-husband almost 2 years to sincerely apologize and admit to his wrongdoings in our relationship. He gave me a lot of empty apologies after the breakup in hopes of getting back in my good graces. When he saw it wasn't working, it upset him, and he then tried to turn all the blame on me. He tried to make me believe that I was the one who ruined our relationship. He was hoping that I would bite the bait and also begin to blame myself. However, this was an unsuccessful attempt once again to manipulate me. Although I rightfully deserved an apology, I would have put my life on hold for 2 years if I waited for that to give me closure. A lesson I learned was that you have to lower your expectations for apologies or completely remove it from people who've hurt you. They may lack the empathy or the awareness of how deeply they've hurt you, and sometimes they lack the maturity to hold themselves accountable for anything. However, you control how you're going to move forward from this. Your best bet is just to accept the situation for what it is and to move on for yourself. The second thing that I recommend you not to do after a breakup is to date prematurely. Those early stages of healing can make you so vulnerable, and sometimes vulnerability can obscure your judgment, especially if you encounter manipulative individuals. You're more susceptible of being taken advantage of as well. I did not intentionally date after my ex-husband and I broke up. However, I did try and meet people to see what that experience was like. I was 18 years old when I met my ex-husband, so I did not have the experience of meeting anyone outside of him for 8 years. At the time, I was also trying to fill the void of loneliness because I had moved to the city and had no close connections with anyone there. There were both pros and cons that came with this situation. I did meet some amazing people through this experience. However, it did hinder my healing process also, because I experienced my fair share of heartbreaks as well. I had my first experience with being ghosted, rejected, and it left me overwhelmed and actually triggered my anxiety. I ended up questioning myself and encountered insecurities I didn't even know existed. While dating prematurely, I ended up wasting people's time and my own. I knew I wasn't ready for a deep emotional connection, so my go-to before parting ways with people was, "It's not you, it's me." This was at the forefront of my exit plan. Cliché? Yes. Was it the truth? Absolutely. I needed more time to heal before presenting myself as a good partner. The best way to describe this experience is to compare it to fertilizer. It was a little shitty, but it helped me to grow. Would I recommend it? No. The lesson I got from this is to find contentment in those seasons of singleness. Don't seek partnership from a place of hurt, desperation, or fear. because attracting love from a space like this can weaken the foundation for a relationship to build. When you move on quickly, it's often to fill some kind of void. Grow your relationship with yourself first, and the love will follow. Tip number 3, do not neglect your health. Your health is your wealth, and when you invest in it, it multiplies. I'm talking about mental, physical, spiritual, and emotional health. I started to energetically remove parts of my ex from myself and my space. The first thing I did after the breakup was I cleaned my home so that I could better organize my thoughts and feel the energy of a new beginning. I then began to remove him and his family from my social media platforms. Sometimes he'd have friends and family spying on me, so to reduce that, I just removed them all. I also started doing body detoxing and introduced myself to wellness practices that helped me mentally and spiritually. When I started fasting, it also helped me out a lot. You also have to be careful not to engage in behaviors that add to toxicity, because this will interfere with your healing. Healing from the inside out starts with committing to healthy choices surrounding your wellness. This could be a combination of addressing your traumas, insecurities, and grounding yourself in practices that helps unveil the most authentic version of yourself. Tip number 4, don't rush your healing process. It took me 3 years of investing in my healing journey to get to a place where I actually began to fully enjoy life again. The process isn't linear, so you'll experience a combination of highs and lows as you unpack different layers of yourself and your journey. I did not forgive my ex right away. Doing it too soon would have felt disingenuous because I'd still be holding on to anger and resentment. I took my time processing and understanding my pain, which led me to go through multiple stages of releasing it. This process allowed me to create space to truly experience healing. I had to listen to what anger was telling me and feel it enough times to understand that it wasn't going to fulfill me moving forward. I had to feel fear enough times to realize it was only an illusion holding me back from my full potential. Observing myself in these states and being present with my emotions helped me acknowledge I no longer wanted to be a victim to my past situation. The lesson that I learned is that you shouldn't overthink or rush the process. Give yourself grace, understanding, and compassion as you navigate these healing moments. Last but not least, tip number 5, don't lower your standards. My self-esteem, confidence, and self-worth took a hit after this breakup. It's normal for anyone to feel insecure after exiting an emotionally abusive relationship. When you have a poor self-perception, you doubt yourself and you question your worthiness to experience certain people and things. You tolerate unnecessary things and sometimes even compromise on your own principles and values. Having low standards will keep you disappointed in the people, opportunities, and experiences that show up for you. Your standards determine what you will attract in your reality. Most importantly, it'll determine what you will allow in. You deserve to have and experience good things, no matter what stage you are experiencing in your journey. Settling holds you back from enjoying the things that you truly deserve. The lesson in this is to keep your standards high and also have high expectations. If you made it to the end of this video, I would like to say thank you so much for being here. I'd appreciate if you enjoyed this video, give it a nice big like, subscribe if you would like to see more of this self-love series. Also, I would love to hear feedback below as well. Share this message with anyone that you feel would find this valuable.